Look! What is that? I don't know. It just came out of nowhere.
The end?
Hurry!
Get a grip. Go link up with Dagger's group.
Yes, sir.
How's the 2nd District holding up?
Barely, boss.
Can't.
I see him! It's over there!
Oh no, the city's falling to pieces. Hey, I think we need to tell Zothba about Roland.
All right.
Hey, it's Mr. Shades!
Well, what do we have here? Oh, and you folks got your friend back.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Lyria.
I'm Zothba, an information broker. Must have been tough out there, huh, little lady?
Yes, it was.
Zothba, do not frighten the poor child.
Huh? Who's being scary? I'm on my best behavior here.
It pleases me to see that everyone is in good health. I came to lend my support the moment I caught wind of Avia's assault on Seed Hollow.
Speaking of allies, I don't see Roland with you. Where'd he go?
He needs our help.
Your eyes tell me more than words can convey. It must have been a horrific affair.
Maybe we can do something for him, though. You in, Histy?
Most certainly. I am off to make arrangements at once.
All right. Call it intuition, or an overactive gut. But an epic storm's brewing in this here skydom. Don't know how to explain it, but the air's buzzing with emotions. Stuff like joy, anxiety, sadness, anger. You can tell when it's coming to a head. I haven't felt this spooked since the Dolly Island disaster 15 years ago. My point is, you folks ought to haul it back to your own skydom.
What? You can't say that at a time like this!
Look, my sources tell me you hail from Fanta Grande. You've got a fine ship that can cross the Grim Basin. No need to play hero here.
It's not like that. We can't just leave everyone when we know what's coming. Lilith is going to use something called the Pillar of Vayui to destroy the sky. Do we just let her do it? And what about Roland?
Let me be the voice of reason here. You saved your princess. Mission accomplished. So what do knights do after rescuing the damsel? They make sure she stays safe. You're an excellent captain, so I don't need to spell out your next move for you, do I?
We're gonna save Roland.
I'm glad you're looking out for the man. But did you hear a single word I said? Come on. All I'm saying is don't push your luck. Ah, who am I kidding? We both know I can't talk you out of this. But Zega Grande is our home. At least let us keep our pride. Be seeing you around then. And quit with the long faces. We can handle this.
Let's kick some tail! Great work today, team!
What's this? Nice find. Hey! Dang, we need a key. Oh.
Great work today, team!
Ooh.
I smell a new mission. Great work today, team!
Excuse me.
Another satisfied client.
Let's see. Nice find.
I smell a new mission. Easier than eating apples. It's the calm before. I love to have a wide select. Stay safe out there, okay? Huh?
I'm all ears. Please, show me. Ah, sigil enhancement. Thanks for coming.
Velpa told us we should get out of Sega Grande, but...
Roland made it abundantly clear that Angramanyu is more than Sega Grande's problem. That power can and will consume the skies.
Exactly. So what I wanted to say was... We got you, Lyria. Just take a look at my bud. Is that the face of somebody fixing to run away? Oh, no it isn't. Hey, easier than eating apples. Ready for some action?
But your stomach growling? Give it what it wants.
Easier than eating apples.
You'll love what you see!
What's this? Neat.
No, I do.
I smell a new mission. Mission complete. Let's kick some tail. Easier than eating apples.
No, not like that. Okay, concentrate on your goal.
Oh no!
Let's talk. Sigil enhancement? Got it. Your weapons won't betray you.
Hello there.
Some time after the commotion at Tempeal, life in Folca began to struggle towards normalcy. The breeze was soft and welcoming. I'd been blind to the city's charms before, focused as I was on rescuing Lyria from the Church of Avia. The sun watched over the victims of Furikin's rage as they raised new homes for themselves from the rubble. But once scars have set in, they are slow to fade. Here and there, the children of Tempeal labored with tools too large for their hands. I offered my aid, but the children said their work was their responsibility.
As long as you're sure you'll be okay.
Some distance away, a small boy burst into a red-faced fit. Lyria and I rushed over, hoping to be of help.
Don't try and stop me! I have to do this!
He hurled his words like stones as he whipped into a run. Concerned, I asked a nearby man about the boy. He explained that the boy's sister was ill, and the lad was after the remedy, an herb called windcrest. The sickness was assumed to have died out hundreds of years ago, but had now returned to torment the child.
And if that's not enough, I heard the woods where windcrest grows have turned into a monster den.
The boy had struck out alone. Folca had no soldiers to spare, for they were all dispatched to Tempeal for the reconstruction effort. No one was left to answer his pleas, but I would. In my heart, I vowed to bring back the child, and if possible, the herb too. I prayed only that I wasn't too late. Leave the front line to me.
Well, according to that old villager, this is the place we want to be.
Perfect. Keep your eyes peeled for Windcrest. Earth spirits. Strange. We didn't see any the last time we were here.
Seems like they're attracted to the windcrest. Maybe they can feel its power.
Sucks to be you! Rain hell on them!
Enchantment land!
Put them on ice!
Gather! Carry on, everyone. Okay, well got it.
Yep, eyes on the prize.
It's go time!
There's nothing to fear.
Trouble you.
Inhibiting me.
Dance.
Stay calm, everyone. No more. I'll finish this. It's over.
I got a load of this!
Your pack fights as one.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them.
On guard!
This is gonna burn!
Try this!
Been saving
Rain
this
on
one!
the hills.
Follow me!
I'll show them.
You like that? Hell of a warm-up, huh?
Oh, the fun's just beginning, Rackham.
Thanks.
Yeah, that should be more than enough.
But we still haven't located the boy. What? Where is that coming from?
I don't know, but it can't be a good sign. We better hurry.
Go
Foam on the nice try. Pass away. It's over. I hate working with you.
There's nothing to
Much
fear.
obliged.
Prepare yourself.
Let's end this. What was up with that flooding earlier? Maybe we should check it out.
A golem. So that's what was behind the tremors.
Crap, it spotted us! Get ready for a fight! Sing.
Little present for ya.
Get behind my shield!
Face the music.
You're mine! Meet your end! In one fell blow! I need your power!
Heads up!
Cut them down!
All that frou-frou sword stuff
The
really
time is
works.
right.
I must shed all needless movement. With baddies on our tails is real fun! Let's give ourselves some breathing.
Don't get carried away.
But I heard Furican's voice just now. I think that when Furican covered this archipelago in storms, some of its power fused with the land and the monsters.
No! Very well.
Now we're cooking.
Inhibiting me.
This is gonna burn.
Inhibiting
Hot
me.
enough for ya?
Any last wishes?
This one. Not all. Bring out the big gun.
Pass away. Attack. Rain on the hills.
Help me out.
How's this?
Roger.
Shine.
Right
Stay
behind
alert,
you.
folks.
Understood.
Right. I won't lose focus.
Can I get some of that Furican juice too? This golem is pumped.
I can't afford to let it run free. Not while that boy remains missing.
Late to run away, bud.
Foam on the sea. Come on.
Sucks to be you. Hot enough for ya? Heads up, people.
Rain on the hills. Nice fall. Nice break.
You've met your match.
Bring out the big gun.
Perish! Come on! Roger.
You
How's
got it.
this? Everyone has such great technique.
Here they come.
We did my best.
Go on. Say more.
Victory lies ahead. Try this! I take you! They shall pay for that. There's nothing to fear.
I owe you one.
Little present for ya. Hot enough for ya?
Enchanted lands! Winter's rain!
Now we're cooking. Come on.
Here and now!
It's go time.
One
I love you
finish this.
guys.
I'll follow
You
this
have my
clue
blade
anywhere.
whenever you need
Feeling shy, Nicola?
Trigger fingers.
You're finished! Is it safe now?
I recognize that voice. With a final death knell, the golem stilled. The boy crawled out from the tall grass, and I pressed the wind crest into his trembling hand.
Wow! Now I can save my sister! You're the best, lady!
He smiled at me, and with a great burden lifted from his shoulders, skipped the whole way back to Folka. As I watched his happy shuffle, I wished more joy and color into his life of toil, which had been covered by the dust of destruction.
Yes, Can I help you?
We made medicine from the wind crest you picked. The doctor said Hazel looks better every day. This morning, she was able to get out of bed and do some drawing. She loves drawing pictures. Thanks again, Catalina. From Al.
And Hazel.
P.S. Please visit Foca when you have a chance.
While out running errands in Folka one day, I came across a crowd of people in the town square. But from the sounds of things, it wasn't a friendly get-together.
I hate you all! Mom, Dad, everybody in this stupid town!
The boy shouted angrily at the adults and took off running, right into me. We both landed on our backsides. Sheesh, watch where you're going, kid. And that's when I noticed the tears streaming down his face. He was clearly upset about something. Hey, you okay? The boy hopped to his feet without a word, shooting me a glare before sprinting away. One of the adults started to follow after him, but...
Please, Doctor, there's not much time.
The crowd stopped him in his tracks.
But I can't just... No, you're right. My patients need me. Forgive me, Lev.
The man closed his eyes, muttered something to the townspeople, and ran off in the opposite direction. Wait, that kid was crying! You're not gonna go after him? I shouted after the man's back, but he either didn't hear me, or pretended not to. Then I felt a gentle hand on my shoulder.
I'm sure he wants to, sweetheart. You see, that boy is his son.
The boy's name was Lev. His father was a doctor, with many patients needing urgent care, so he had no choice but to ask the townspeople to find his son for him. I knew I should mind my own business, but I couldn't get the poor kid's face out of my head. He was probably hiding somewhere all by himself, crying his eyes out. I understood all too well how painful it felt to be alone. When Master Sokka reached out to me, it changed my life forever. Maybe it was my turn to do the same for someone else. I turned to ask the crew if we could join the search, but they were already gearing up to head after him. It seemed we'd all had the same idea. Just you wait, Lev, I thought to myself. I was gonna find him and put a smile back on his face, even if it meant sticking my nose where it didn't belong. The villagers didn't seem too worried about Lev. According to them, he'd have to venture much deeper into the forest before encountering any monsters. But that wasn't the issue. It seemed like nobody wanted to talk about why he'd run off in the first place. It was an obvious cry for help, and nobody was helping. I went through the same thing back in the day. Even after I met my master, there were times when the loss of my parents was just too much to bear. I didn't go so far as to run from home, but I'd sit alone in the corner of my room, hugging my knees to my chest and crying. Whenever Master Sokka found me like that, he'd always perform a silly magic trick to cheer me up. Just like me, all Lev wanted was for someone to find him, to take his hand, so he went off on his own in the hopes that someone would come for him. I'm sure he knew it was selfish, but it was the only card he felt he had left.
Do you think this means Lev doesn't want to live at home anymore?
I had a feeling that wasn't the case. He's probably just going through a rebellious phase.
Oh, that's when kids start arguing and acting out, right? Catalina told me it's pretty common. Did you have a phase like that?
Lyria's question was innocent enough, But I was too embarrassed to admit that I'd ever gone off alone because I wanted someone to pay attention to me. Heck no! That's not something befitting of a grown lady like myself. So what if I told a little lie? Our biggest concern right now was Lev, who was out there, probably crying with his back up against some rough, silent tree. He needed a friend, and I was more than determined to be one for him. This forest is as huge as ever. I sure hope Lev's okay.
Come on! We gotta find him! And it's over! Wait, we're still on the edge of the forest, right? What are goblins doing here?
This should do the trick.
Wind in the field.
Been saving this one. Too late to run away, bud.
There's no time to waste. We've got to find him.
Watch out for the fire! We're gonna need that magic of yours, yo!
I don't see him anywhere.
It's over! That's a lot of monsters. Guess we'll just have to take them all out.
I'm on it.
Incoming!
Oh, come on. Just leave us alone already.
This is gonna burn.
Dance of the pink pebbles. Come on. Pass away. Thank you.
Bet it all on the bullet.
Take that!
The cloud clear.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lev's all alone out there. Come on.
Look, there he is! Over there!
Uggos! I'm the one you want.
Just
Hot
try
enough for ya?
in the far
Take him!
I might have waited
Sorry,
alone.
not sorry. That'll teach him.
Right? You expect any less?
We are a force.
Ready to face the music?
To victory!
You're in my sights.
Wonderful, Eo. You think so? Thank you.
One more! Press it smooth.
Huh? Take that! Let's play!
Don't worry, they're gone now. You okay? Yeah, thanks. We were lucky we found Lev when we did, or he would have been Monster Chow. But before we could talk to him, the town watch came hurrying over.
Lev, your parents are worried sick about you. Come on, let's go home.
Lev looked away, ignoring the old man's outstretched hand. I could imagine how he was feeling, being treated like he was selfish and immature, when all he wanted was someone to sit down and talk to. The man sighed and scratched his head in frustration.
Your mom and dad are fine people. Try being a little more considerate, okay?
Lev immediately bristled at those words, breaking his silence.
What do you know? This is all your fault!
Knocking the man's hand out of the way, he turned and ran deeper into the forest. It was like watching a scene from my own past, but I wished he'd get a grip already. The deeper he went into the forest, the more likely he was to get attacked. We had to hurry. come to view the requests? We all split up to search for Lev so we could cover more ground. I didn't see any trace of him at first, so I thought I must have gone the wrong way. But then I noticed footprints that looked like someone had slipped over a nearby ledge. And sure enough, when I peeked down, I saw a familiar figure sitting hunched over, knees to his chest. He looked a little scraped up, but didn't seem to be hurt badly. I was just glad I'd managed to find him still in one piece. When I told him I was a Skyfarer, he immediately burst into tears of relief. I could tell he was upset with the villagers about something, and that's why he couldn't be honest with them. But as an outsider, I thought I might have a chance. Watch closely. I'm gonna cast some special magic just for you. It was time for one of my master's patented magic tricks. I showed Lev my empty palm before covering it with a handkerchief. I flung the cloth away, and voila! There was a piece of candy in my hand.
Wow, candy!
Here, you can have it. After devouring the candy, he finally calmed down.
Thanks.
Normally, that would have been enough to lift any kid's spirits, but his face fell again as quickly as it had lit up. I guess he really doesn't want to go home. I decided I wouldn't leave him until there was a smile back on his face. While we were still deep in the woods, I decided to ask Lev up front. Why did you run away? He hesitated at first, but after seeing that I was serious, he started to open up.
My mom and dad used to work as doctors in Tempeal.
Back then, all had been well with their family. But when Furikin went berserk, they lost their home and ended up moving to Folka. And that was when things started to fall apart. His parents began to spend all of their time tending to patients who were affected by the disaster, with hardly a moment's rest. Lev watched as his mom got paler and the black circles under her eyes grew darker and darker. He begged her to take a break, but it was no use. Eventually, she collapsed from overwork.
I told her she wouldn't be able to help people anymore if she got sick. She just wouldn't listen to me.
And here I thought he was just a kid going through a rebellious phase. That wasn't the case at all. That's really grown up of you, Lev. You're just worried about your mom and dad, huh?
Yeah.
After hearing Lev's explanation, I finally understood how he felt. I knew how hard it was watching people you cared about pushing themselves too hard. I couldn't stand to see my master doing it either. And that's exactly what was going through Lev's mind. He wasn't being selfish. Everything he did, it was because he loved his parents. If it were me in his shoes, I'm sure I'd be worried sick about my parents too. There's nothing wrong with worrying about your parents. I'm sure they're proud to have a son who cares so much.
But
what? Something was still on his mind.
I always wanted to be a great doctor, just like my mom and dad. But after my mom collapsed, I started thinking maybe everybody else was just using them.
Along the way, he'd stopped being able to trust the people of Folka, and he thought feeling that way meant he could never follow in his parents' footsteps. Lev stared at the ground as he spoke, finally confiding his troubles to me. After hearing his story, I began to open up about my own parents. He listened to my words in silence. My parents had also strained themselves too hard after getting sick, and eventually passed away. So Lev's circumstances were all too familiar. Just like him, I felt nothing but bitterness and despair. But there was one difference. I've got to admit, I envy you a little. After all, your mom and dad are still alive and well. While we were standing there talking, Lev's parents and the villagers were probably beside themselves with worry, braving the dangers of the forest to search for him. When I told him that, Lev finally seemed to grasp the situation.
I really messed up, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Are you sure I'm the person you should be saying that to? I stood up and smiled at Lev. He and his family all seemed like really good people. The only thing they needed to patch their home back together was a long heart-to-heart.
During our stay in Seed Hollow, a certain request made its way into our hands. We were to inspect sightings of a mysterious young girl near the Seed Hollow castle.
You don't think she's a ghost, do you?
I put a hand on Lyria's shoulder to comfort her, and asked the client for more details. According to reports, the young girl appeared to be looking for something. Workers helping with the castle's restoration effort would attempt to approach her, but she would vanish before they could get close. Each sighting would spook another handful of builders, until there weren't enough hands to complete repairs. By all accounts, it seemed to be a ghost. Of course, I couldn't admit that to Lyria. It was not uncommon for spirits to take refuge in ancient ruins or castles, and play tricks on any unfortunate souls passing by. They were almost never malicious, even friendly sometimes. However, we couldn't take our chances. I just wished we had more information to work with. There was something familiar about this story. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it.
One day, when I was visiting Seed Hollow on business, I espied a young man crouched in a corner of the central plaza. There was no mistaking his mussed hair, a style rebellious youth call the Mohawk, and surly face. Here was Sir Soupstock, helmsman of the family Zothba. Is something the matter? The lad met my inquiry with a scowl.
The hell are you looking at? Beat it, kid. Wait, hold on a sec. Ain't you a part of that crew?
Assured of my goodwill, Sir Soupstock unfolded his troubles. Whilst making his usual rounds squaring away accounts, the lad had met with some resistance. One of their clients, a nobleman disdainful of Sir Soupstock's low birth and tender age, had refused to pay.
I'm an officer too, you know. Got my own grunts working under me, good people. But we're dealing with the real frilly-pants, blue-blooded noble here. Any attempt to rough him up, and it's straight to the slammer.
Was a treacherous path, Sir Soupstock added. A single misstep, and it was his reputation in the mud. Hearing this, my heart went out to him, for I knew what it was like to feel green and small, with judging eyes upon me. I offered him my aid.
I appreciate the thought, but no offense. You look like a kid. If I bring you on my rounds, they're gonna change my name from Soupstock to Laughingstock.
At that moment, a servant arrived, bearing a message from the nobleman in question. It read, "I've decided to pay. Meet me at the following location." This whole affair was starting to smell ranker than a goblin's breath. He could just as easily have sent money with the servant. Why go through the trouble of arranging yet another meeting? There was mischief afoot, and I resolved to accompany Sir Soupstock to stop it in its tracks.
Call for reinforcements! We need all the support we can get!
Why is everyone from that crew a beast? What are they feeding them on that ship?
It was a nightmare. Actually, worse. You could wake up from a nightmare. This was our reality. We were being driven into the heart of Mount Nagelith by a single Skyfarer. Even though he was alone, he was with the crew who defeated General Galanza. Our only chance was to put aside our pride and work together to take him down. Our platoon was experienced, and we could launch the prototype Tayuatar if things started looking rough. We had numbers and strategy on our side. With all of our preparations, victory should have been assured. But he took one look at our perfect formations and laughed.
Ha 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 ha! You honor me with this extra training. I, Gandagosa, shall now return the favor with eternal rage!
You what? This guy was nuts. All of these soldiers, and this was just a field exercise to him?
Get your asses in gear! Do not break ranks!
Command snapped my mind back into focus. I drew my sword, but as I clutched its hilt, I had never been more sure it was just a hunk of scrap metal.
We walk the path of eternal rage.
Keep your distance, or you won't make it out of here alive.
Roger! Yeah! How will you train from so far away?
You have a weapon. Is this a joke to him? Who is this guy? Could be the devil himself for all I care. Back up. We can't take him on our own.
Step forward. I still need to finish my warm-up. More fury! More... Go! From the clouds breaks the storm. My fists grow restless.
Curse our luck. He's leaving me with no option. Switch to Plan C.
Plan C? But sir, he doesn't even have armor on!
Just do it! Either we deploy our secret weapon, or he'll wipe us out! Go, Tayuatar! Deliver us from this accursed giant!
I applaud your desire to continue fighting, but you insult me with these useless toys! Iron shoulder thin! Hands up! Well, take the shot! Bring. I like it. Victory! Bring it! Its butt shall know defeat!
It's over. He took out the Tayutar.
Of course he did. I want all units deployed. Courage, troops. No one lives forever.
With these fists, nothing is impossible! Our hot Skybreaker! The river boils! Into my trap! Heads up! Understood! I like Iron Shoulder! Descend as the Falcon! Make way for rain! Victory is mine!
He's a monster! Commander, your orders!
Your move! Bow! Before my might!
It was a nightmare. Actually worse. You could wake up from a nightmare. This was our reality.
Where are they? Bring me your champions!
We were an entire platoon of pilgrims. We even deployed the Tayuitar. He wasn't even inconvenienced.
Retreat! Retreat!
My mind was cloudy. I barely heard the commander's order. How could I think? I saw it. I saw the force of his punches redirect the blizzard. He had to be a demon. No mortal could beat the damn weather into submission. Not to mention the lack of corpses. This battle had been brutal, but so far no one had sustained critical injuries. Which means he had been holding back. A man like this, he was as strong as General Galanza. No, stronger maybe. Finally, I gathered enough sense to unfreeze my feet and turn tail. As I ran away, I got the sense I'd just witnessed history in the making.
Hello there. We made another pit stop in Seed Hollow, which gave me the chance to check up on Malfira and her progress with the blanket. Lyria and Vern came with me, and their eyes lit up when they saw her intricate embroidery, just like mine did that first sunny day. Though I hadn't known Malfira for very long, I felt a kinship with her, and I liked to watch her determination evolve with each new stitch. But most of all, I liked that her kind smile, maternal and comforting, was always able to put me at ease. I'd never met anyone so genuine. In fact, nor had my pets.
Who's a spooky boy? Yes, you are.
Malfira playfully scratched behind Beppo's ears. The mood was light, so I decided to learn a little more about my friend. I noticed you're in the Central Plaza quite often.
More or less. I don't have much else to occupy my time. Not with that silly boy still playing in the sand.
Malfira's partner was a geologist on dispatch in Dolly, an extended dispatch, it seemed. Dolly was an island of deserts, with bitterly cold nights. To Malfira, a cozy blanket seemed the perfect way to combat the harsh environment.
Maybe it won't be necessary. He's coming back for a visit on the Airbus next month, and I'm about to burst with excitement.
Her joy should have been infectious. Try as I might to put on a brave face, my heart sank at her words. The Airbus from Dolly? Of course.